Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm Roxanne, I'm the director of Station F. It's great to be here, but it's even better to welcome you all back to campus. Hopefully COVID is now behind us and you guys realize that we also took advantage of that time to update campus a little bit. We weren't the only ones working hard during that time. It's a really exciting time in the ecosystem. There are some crazy rounds of funding, unicorns popping up every day, acquisitions, a couple of exits, things we've almost never seen and never imagined happening right now. And we like to think that hopefully we played a tiny role in all of this. Nearly 4,000 companies have gone through different Station F programs since the beginning of Station F. You may recognize some of their names: Lemlist, 900 Care, Recast, PlayPlay. The list is really long. We don't have our unicorn yet, but we do already have quite a few success stories. They tend to be divided into different categories. We have obviously big rounds of funding, we have acquisitions. We also have entrepreneurs building really game-changing things. For example, I want to give you a few examples. Luco, a lot of you here may have heard about this company, came out of the HEC program in the insurance space. I think they are to date the only French company to have raised with Peter Thiel's Founders Fund. Crafty, founder is here today, I saw him. In the HR space, went through the Founders Program, got acquired by Talentsoft, who went on to get acquired by Cegid, so we have a really great acquisition story there. Interstellar Labs, many of you have heard of this company as well. Incredible solo female founder, that's pretty rare to come by. She's obviously well-funded, but doing nothing less than building habitats for Mars. So that gives you a little idea of what we see at Station F. And of course, everyone wants to talk about funding, unicorns, but these companies are also creating jobs. Nearly 30,000 jobs have been created by Station F companies since the very beginning. And because I know you guys still want to talk about funding, nearly 450 million euros were raised by Station F companies just this last year. And from day one, Station F has really been about making life easier for entrepreneurs, which is why 2 years ago we opened Flatmates, our co-living extension, and today it is full. And all of this would not be possible without our incredible partners, some of whom are here today. They do a lot of different things. A lot of them host different programs on campus. And we were actually lucky enough to add 2 new programs to Station F just this last summer. École 42 and Centrale Supélec. École 42, I think a lot of you know, is the coding school created also by our founder, and a lot of incredible entrepreneurs are actually also École 42 alumni. So now we have a program on campus dedicated to them. And to tell you more about the Centrale Supélec program, I'd like to welcome on stage Rodolphe and Anita.
Thank you very much, Roxanne. Welcome, everybody. Well, I'm very happy to be with you today, and I wanted to thank Roxanne and the Station F team to give us the opportunity of being with you on stage today. So I'm Anita Devoisin, the head of entrepreneurship at Centrale Supélec. As you may perhaps know, Centrale Supélec is very linked to entrepreneurship DNA. It has been created by an entrepreneur, and it has also generated a lot of entrepreneurs, famous entrepreneurs. For example, Eiffel, Bouygues, Lagardère, also Peugeot, Michelin, Blériot, etc. We've also had Bernard Liotto from Business Object, which was the first European company listed on NASDAQ. We had Jean-Baptiste Rudel from Criteo, the first unicorn, French unicorn. And we also had, for example, more recently, Stéphane Bancel, as you all know him, unfortunately, due to pandemic COVID situation. It's the CEO of Moderna. So this year, we celebrate our incubator 20-year anniversary. 20 years of accompanying startups, 20 years of hard work with the results that go with it. But we just don't want to celebrate. We want to go one step further and one step deeper and open our tremendous scientific and technological ecosystem to ambitious entrepreneurs who want to tackle the issues of our exciting but very challenging century. So we've transformed our incubator into a thematic and very intensive accelerator where we put a lot of resources. And we decided to name it very simply, 21st. It reflects our century, its needs, and its ambitions. So I'm very pleased to welcome Rodolphe, who will talk about 21st and present you a little more of the program we offer to men and women we support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anita. Yes, as Anita said, our target is to support and to accelerate disruptive startups willing to change the world. That's why we built this program by opening it also to not alumni from Centrale Supélec. And we built this program leveraging on three main assets of Centrale Supélec. The first one is strategic mentoring, because we will connect you to our network of top tech alumni entrepreneurs. The second asset is research excellence. We will also connect you to one of more than 16 labs, world-class labs, ranging from AI to medtech, biotech, and new space. And the third asset is funding, because we can provide you with some personal loan up to 100 kilo euros, and also in equity up to 100 kilo euros as an option. So our program is now live. We have more than 12 startups at the seed stage now currently on 2 sites, Station F and also in Saclay, where you can be connected to our labs. And if you want to be part, to explore new frontiers, please feel free to join us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So now you've heard a little bit about our partner programs, but we also have some in-house programs. The Founders Program, the Fighters Program, and most recently, the Femtech Program. So I'd like to invite on stage to tell you more, Marwan, who is head of startup programs.
Merci Roxane. Hello, bonjour à tous, good morning. So happy to see all of you. So of course we're so proud to work with great, amazing partners, but we also manage our own in-house programs. So there are 3 of them, Founders, Fighters, and Femtech. And these 3 programs are addressing some specific element. But first, let's start with the Founders Program. So the Founders Program is born with Station F back in 2017. It is the biggest program of the place with roughly 200 startups, all young, all in seed and pre-seed startups across all topics. Well, the purpose of the Founders Program is really clear. It's to tackle every challenges a young startup, a pre-seed and seed startup will face through collective intelligence. So how do we do that? First, with the core philosophy, it's a program designed by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs from day one. It is at the heart of the program, and for example, the whole selection process is done by entrepreneurs. We're part of a group that we named the Selection Board, so it's a group that gathers more than 130 entrepreneurs, proven entrepreneurs who are selecting, and are the ones who are deciding who goes to the program or not. Also the program, all the resources we provide come from recommendations from entrepreneurs. All the resources were tested and tried by entrepreneurs before. Well, the program is mainly designed on peer-to-peer, as I said, and it started with the guild. So all the founders startups are split into small groups that we name guilds. A guild is made of 10 to 12 entrepreneurs, startups, that have to meet once a month to share tips, insights, and also to find collective solutions to their challenges. So from guild, now we are offering tools. So we want to serve and offer collective intelligence as a service through self-service tools. Well, each of the tools we are building are offering tips and solutions to, well, every challenge a young startup will face at what moment. For example, the fundraising. So we build a fundraising tracker, so any startup in the program that plans to raise can browse per vertical and per business model all the startups that raised over the past 4 years, and of course get an intro. When you start to build your company, one thing you need to look at are the tools you need to set up so you can go faster. Well, again, we have a tool where you can browse all the tools recommended by all the Founders Program community. And lastly, well, when you're a first-time entrepreneur, there's one big challenge you will face is to have talent around you. And recruiting is one of the biggest and the harder process you will face as an entrepreneur. Well, when you launch a company for the first time, maybe you don't know how to recruit a seller or developer. Well, good news, you can ask for any help among the community. So we are working currently on the 10th cohort that is going to be welcomed on the campus in early next year. Now the second program, the Fighters program. So we're so convinced at StationF that any good and great entrepreneur can come from any background. And when you come from a less privileged environment, well, you're more likely to face more risk, more difficulties, and encounter some biases that will lead to a big disadvantage. Well, that's why we designed the Fighters program to welcome this kind of entrepreneur so they can benefit from an extra boost from the campus and from the program we provide. We were so proud to launch and announce the program at day one, at the inauguration. And now we are the 4th cohort, working right now on the 4th seasons, and the community is growing year after year. So we'll be happy to share all the milestones our fighters achieved, but let me focus on 3 stories. First, Telly is part of the 1st cohort. He is the founder of Digital Paris, which is a cybersecurity startup. So he's building with his team a car theft prevention solution to reduce car theft by 80%. So it's a pure cybersecurity solution relying on AI. But Telly was able to raise funds over the past 2 years. He launched his pre-sales campaign this summer and is, since last week, selling his first devices to consumers. Telly was also able to recruit 3 engineers in hardware and software, and is working with insurance companies so he can address his solution to millions of drivers. Andy and Anisette are the founders of Fibrani. Andy is in the room right now. They're also part of the 1st cohort of the Fighters program. They're working in B2C, selling boxes for women with curly and frizzy hair. Well, the team is able to sell 1.6K boxes per month, and also now they're working on their own brand that is yet to be released. As for Antoine also is here. Antoine is part of the 4th cohort. Well, Antoine grew up in a small family farm in the region of Pays de la Loire, 2 hours from Paris. Well, he saw his father working really hard on the family farm and yet earned some modest wages. So he decided to help on the family business, and he set up his own e-commerce website to deliver meat-to-meat boxes from the ethical farm and also from many, many producers. So Antoine and his team is working to help producers focus on their job and let the platform be the system seller. Well, many other and a ton of other stories I'll be happy to share. Well, we're still working on the 5th cohort, currently reviewing a ton of applications, and we're so happy that we're going to work next year with TikTok. TikTok will be the sponsor of the 5th cohort of the Fighters program. We're so happy to work with TikTok. They're going to bring a ton of resources on how you can acquire and build content on the platform, and also working with TikTok employees to support and mentor the new Fighters cohort. And now, the new board of the StationF family, the Femtech program, that we announced in early September. But first, before I dive into the program, you may wonder what Femtech is all about. Well, it's a core belief that tech products and services can improve women's health. So why do we do a Femtech program? First, female health is not something to be embarrassed about. And then, Femtech startups are facing so many issues, and we're so convinced that we, StationF, can provide a ton of solutions. For example, regarding the community. So Fintech entrepreneurs will join the community and will be surrounded, of course, with other Fintech entrepreneurs. And they will see that they will work on the same solution, and they are facing the same challenges. Also, we're going to invite a ton of proven Fintech entrepreneurs so they can help and share tips with the younger startups. Secondly, acquisition. When you work on such solutions, it's a pain to acquire new users and customers. How can you leverage social networks? How can you build new content? How can you build a brand and a community around it? And especially, how can you set up a clear go-to-market strategy? Since femtech startups are mainly medtech startups. And last, again, funding, funding, and funding. Well, it's a common challenge for all startups. It's all the more important for femtech startups, since you know that investors are mainly composed of men, and they tend to overlook how big the market can be with femtech startups. So we're going to welcome and receive and launch our first cohort in mid-November, so in a few weeks. We're going to welcome 15 startups. We are currently in the review of reviewing applications, and the program will last 6 months. So of course, I can't share any names right now on the startups that will join the program, but I can guarantee you we're going to talk about periods, maternity, pregnancy, and sexual well-being. These are the 3 programs we're lucky to have at Station F: the founders, the fighters, and the femtech. And on that note, back to Roxane.
Thanks, Malwan. So as you guys can see, we are doing a lot, and we thought that's enough, we'll stop here. No, jokes aside, the question is not should we do more, but why? And actually, it's despite everything that we're seeing in the press, it's still incredibly hard to start a business. In fact, at Station F, we're only accepting 9%, in some cases less, than the companies that apply to join our different programs. For those of you who may struggle with the math, that means we are actually % of companies. You may be wondering why. Well, in many cases, they don't have a team, they don't have a co-founder, they don't have an MVP or a prototype, they don't have any users. I mean, it's really hard to get started. And this is why today I'm really excited to announce Launch by Station F. Launch is, thank you. I haven't told you guys anything yet. So Launch is a new way to become an entrepreneur. It's a fully online program. So this means that you can access it from anywhere in the world. It's literally all the basics to start a company. So from the moment you have an idea, what do you do next? How do you create an MVP? How do you create a product roadmap? What's your value prop? What's your growth strategy? By the time you finish this program, you should understand all that crazy jargon that entrepreneurs are using all the time. Your TAM, your CAC, are you B2B, B2C, BCBG? I was kidding, nobody reacted. That's not an entrepreneur term. So this is what the platform looks like, and we have content with some of the greatest companies being built today. In case you don't recognize these people, these are the companies that they work for. And so throughout the program, you will be going through the steps to be building your pitch deck. But actually, it's more than just building a pitch deck. It's really asking yourself the right questions about your business. The entire program is based on peer-to-peer feedback, which means that in order to be able to move forward, you will have to work together with others. And we've also amassed what we consider to be all the essential tools, there are 25 of them, to help people get started. And obviously, these are all at a very good discounted rate as well. To give you some ideas, one of the tools you'll find inside is Notion. Notion, a lot of companies today use it for both internal and external communications. And we actually have a partnership with Notion that goes beyond just Launch. Figma is another product that I think probably many people here know about for essentially all your design and branding needs. And Bubble. Bubble should definitely not be underestimated. A lot of people may think that they need a CTO or a technical co-founder to get started, and actually, Bubble's solution may prove that that is not the case. To tell you more, I'd like to invite on stage Bubble's co-founder, Emmanuel.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm extremely happy to be here because early stage entrepreneurship and taking an idea and turning it into an application is very much what Bubble is about. And I think there is no better place than here to talk about this and no better partner for us to do this. We started Bubble a few years ago looking at the market and seeing so many people with ideas, and they couldn't get those ideas off the ground because they hadn't been exposed to code early enough. And we felt it was a shame because most of the time, the best ideas actually come from outsiders. They come from people that are not part of the tech community, and we wanted to empower them to create their product. So effectively what Bubble is, it's a visual editor where you can build web applications without writing code. What I mean by that is building real products. We've seen some of our users get into Y Combinator. Our biggest fundraise so far is a $300 million raise on a Bubble built platform. There is a learning curve. It takes a few hours to learn, but after that, you get superpowers. One of our users, for fun, cloned Twitter, for instance. That are the kind of things you could do with Bubble. And so what we're doing with Station F here is a discount, as Roxanne shared, but it's actually more than that. I'm here because I want to tell entrepreneurs that will be part of the program that more than the discount, we're really here to assist them as they're building their product. Because at the end of the day, their success is our success. The only way for a platform like Bubble to succeed is to have the next unicorns built on our platform, and we'll do whatever we can to help. Thank you very much.
Super, thank you, Emmanuel. So I've showed you guys 2 of the 3 components of launch. I've talked about the content, we've seen some of the tools, and now I want to share with you the community element, which is definitely not to be underestimated. All participants will have access to the directory, where hopefully they'll be able to find a potential co-founder, if any of you want to join this person. You'll also be able to leverage the community in order to talk about literally everything, your idea, your recruitment, your business model, you name it, you'll be able to find people to exchange with in the community. And also we have included a number of features, not just the one on the screen, but other ones as well, to help you set your personal goal and see how you're progressing in the course in regards to what you want to do, but also in regards to what others are doing. And this should help you move forward. So now I'd like to show you what it actually looks like. You guys want to see it? All right, here's launch by Station F. Cool, I'm glad you guys like it. Now let's talk about the good stuff. Everybody will be able to access the first module of the course entirely for free, so that way they can try it out, see if it's for them. And if they'd like to go further with the rest of the content, it's €9.90 per month, and you can cancel at any time. And the reason it's a monthly model means that you can also go at your own rhythm. If you want to complete the course in 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, that's really up to you. And of course, the entire program, all of the content, will be for free for our diversity partners. So La French Tech Tremplin, Les Déterminés, Singa, and of course, our own Fighters program will all be able to access for free. So it's available today on launch.stationf.co. Thank you. Like everything we do at Station F, whether it be our different programs, flatmates and providing housing, our different partnerships, we are all here to empower the next generation of entrepreneurs. I want to say thank you to everybody who has been part of this journey, and also a special thank you and bravo to my team for launching Launch today. Thank you.